Yeah.
Dave, I'm going to call him Lagrecka, and the Human Snorefest, Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Had Tony Khan on a few days ago.
There's another Snorefest, Tony Khan.
Exactly. And I'm going to ask you to weigh in on this.
Aburrido.
Tony Khan seems pretty so confident that AEW Dynamite will remain on Wednesday nights despite Turner Sports' new deal with the NHL.
Nice.
Earlier this week, Turner Sports announced that the new deal will carry the NHL programming for the next 7 years.
Good.
That immediately led to fans speculating that AEW Dynamite's future given a significance of the NHL deal.
Why would that affect them? Is the NHL going to be on Wednesday nights?
They do play on Wednesday. You know this. Hockey plays on Wednesday nights.
Sure it does. I'm just asking, is that the night they intend to air it?
Well, Tony Khan was a guest on This Morning on Busted Open Radio, right, which is one of the top radio stations.
Sure.
We're right behind them, and we're going to be in front of them shortly.
Where'd they go?
Lagrecka and Tommy Dreamer. When Lagrecka asked Khan about the future AEW Dynamite, he made it quite clear that Wednesday nights was the promotion's home. I'm going to quote Khan. I'm not going to read the whole thing, and then I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay.
I know Wednesday nights is our slot and our home, and it's a great situation, Khan said. I'm thrilled with our partnership with TNT.
You should be.
You know it's the lifeblood of our company. It's our primary revenue source, and it's the way most fans get exposed to AEW to see the show.
No kidding.
And tonight and every Wednesday, we do Dynamite. I think you know a lot of wrestling fans. It's a really important night of the week. And so I want everyone rest assured that they're not going to have to worry about any kind of major changes.
Okay.
AEW President Tony Khan was asked about while on a guest. Khan seemed to hint that he's not worried about the company's spot on Wednesdays and also suggested he's open to change.
Right.
Farrell?
I don't think much of it, and if the NHL does do Wednesday nights, guess who's getting bumped? They're getting bumped. That's it. So if that does happen, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So here's Lagrecka.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr.
That's not what you called him. What's his name?
Lagrecka.
Okay, clear it up.
So I'll make this clear.
What am I doing?
Again, another guy. I understand that you want Tony Khan on your show every Wednesday. Okay, it's good for business. I get it. Right now it is anyway. And when we get to the ratings, maybe it's not such a good thing because maybe you're just bad luck, Lagrecka. But anyway, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
That's interesting. All right,
let's be honest here. You just said it.
Yeah.
If the NHL says, TNT says, or the NHL goes, hey, we want this Wednesday played.
The NHL,
Tony Khan tried to present on Busted Open, and Lagrecka tried to pull back a little bit today.
Anywhere? That it won't matter? It'll matter.
Tony Khan, will decide if they stay on Wednesday night.
No, he won't.
Thank you. Can you speak on that, friend?
What is there to speak on? He's not going to have it. Look, they're not AEW. It's not a bigger animal than the NHL or TNT. If that's what the NHL and TNT decide upon, then you better pick another night, Tony.
Well, on TNT, I paid you whatever you paid, $100 million, whatever they paid him, right?
Right.
Guess what? TNT can do whatever they want with your show.
Of course.
We're getting paid here.
Of course they could.
If Indie Music says you're going on at 1 o'clock in the morning, guess what time you're going on?
No, Chris, don't. Wait a minute, 1 o'clock in the morning? Chris, hey, I like that. You'll hate it.
But Lagrecka doesn't even ask that question.
Well,
Because he doesn't want to ruffle. And then, Tommy Dreamer, I don't even know the guy has a brain on his head.
Wow.
Yeah.
EC Dub. Too many Singapore cane shots or something?
No, I'm tired of it, dude. It's like, stop with your agendas. Be a proper reporter. Listen, guys, when we interview these wrestlers here, we ask them tough questions.
Right.
We don't throw softballs.
No.
We're respectful.
Right.
You can ask tough questions and be respectful.
Right.
But I think you anyway said Lagrecka's only got a job because of his brother anyway, right?
Did I say that?
I think you did say that. Why did you say that?
It seems to be like, perhaps that could be the case. You don't think that could be the case? How else did he get that position over there?
Do you think he's a great broadcaster?
I don't listen to him. You do. I don't know that much at all. I know he read my handbook. I know he listens to what I say sometimes. I know that much.
Tell the fans the story when the Pharaoh met Dave Lagrecka.
Oh, boy, you really are going for it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, once upon a time, you and I went to go see Gary Michael Capetta.
Right.
And that was over in, where was that? That was somewhere over by the World's Fair area by Citi Field in Queens.
That's correct.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And we were minding our own business, and somebody came over to me.
Yep.
And introduced himself and said, "Who are you?" And this was when we weren't, wait a minute, Monty the Pharaoh was like a week old. We were just getting started.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who are you?" And I says, "I'm the Pharaoh, and that's Monty, and we're Monty and the Pharaoh." And he was cool, from what I remember.
Very nice guy.
He was cool,
Very
from
nice
what I
guy.
remember. And that was it. Never really saw him again. Are you even? Do you even speak to the guy, or are you on Facebook with him or anything?
No, he's asked me to call in twice. I called in, and then I asked
Oh, wait
him.
a minute. That was great when you did.
And then I asked him
And
to call
actually,
back.
I was awake for that segment.
There you go. So you do
Yeah.
listen.
Well, I knew you were on.
So then I asked him to call back here.
Right. Yeah, what are you going to do?
But that's not the reason I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing it up if you're going to be a true journalist.
Right.
Ask a hard question, dude. If Tony Khan is that weak and soft that he can't handle a question like that, then don't have him on your show.
How about when Bubba's there, though? Bubba doesn't strike me as a guy who won't ask a hard question.
Bubba is another guy, dude. I mean, with all due respect, I understand he's a Hall of Famer.
I love the Dudley boys.
I understand he's a Hall of Famer.
Don't tell my thoughts
but
on
he
Bubba.
plays Booker every time he's on that show. They should have did this. They should have did this.
He might be right half the time, especially if he's talking about
Well, I
war.
remember when he was on Impact,
Right.
not Impact, on TNA.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah. I liked him as world champion.
Dude, he was booking over there. The storyline sucked.
I like him as world
The
champion.
storyline sucked. So how are you going to tell WWE
You
writers
didn't like
what
the
to do?
Hogan wedding?
Terrible.
Come on!
The only thing
That
I
was
think I said I like
hilarious.
aces and eights. I think that's about it.
I thought that was
And maybe the
great
main
stuff.
event Mafia.
I enjoyed
But I
that.
guess, you know what?
I give
A
it.
wise man once told me, you throw a ball down a bowling alley 50 times, you might hit a pin once in
hit
a
a
while.
pin.
I mean, shit, I would have hit a pin. And I'm not trying to be
Who's
a booker.
bowling? Ray Charles? What's going on here? You
Well,
might hit a
being
pin
honest.
after the 50th attempt.
So I don't have
Wow.
respect for guys when you have people
That's
on,
rough,
you throw
man.
softball questions, and I got to be honest with you, it's like, all I hear, listen, I'm at work, I throw on Busted, I have Sirius Radio on. So it's like I got 80s on 8, I've got the YouTube
Right.
channel, and Busted Open comes on. I got this whole running rotation.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
And I got to, again, it's like if you're going to interview people, do a legitimate interview.
Right.
Ask some, real good stuff that people are interested in. He gets put in some sort of armbar.
Yes, he does.
And how he breaks it is puts his hands in his pockets, and Penta can't hold him. And then we got two Hall of Fame announcers, Jim Ross and Shivani, saying,
Right.
wow, the pocket. What? The power of the pocket. I got to think that Jim Ross is throwing up in his mouth right now.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But Jim Ross is doing his job. And let me tell you, if we were in the announcing booth and we were told to do it, we probably would too.
All right, shut up.
Hey,
You're
man,
probably right.
oh, yeah, I got you. I got you.
I'm not gonna lie.
What the mic is cooking.
You're right. I'm not going to lie.
It is what it is. Hey, what's this? Darby Allin is
Well,
doing...
real quick, I just want to
doing
say
good work.
one great spot last night between Orange and Penta.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Penta catches him and holds him up with one arm. And again, super, Circus Olay shit.
Absolutely.
But a totally different move. And
How did he do it?
Well, again, Orange Cassidy probably weighs 130 pounds. I mean, and he's an acrobat, and he probably could balance himself.
I swear, though, doesn't Orange Cassidy look like the guy who gives you your towel when you get out of the pool?
Yes,
You get out of the pool, and there he is. He gives you a towel. Or he's got the white powder on his nose because he's either doing coke or he's a lifeguard, or he's both.
Russell Campbell says, "Oh my God, the pocket release is killing me." Absolutely,
It's
I'm like, come on.
What about when... You have to admit, though,
Go ahead.
he's funny. I laugh when I see him. Like when he does he's going to, at the beginning of the match, when he's going to put his hands in the pocket, and Penta wouldn't let him like 3 times. He wouldn't let him put his hands. And he's, oh, what a diss. Orange is getting mad. What do you want? It's
Ralph
funny.
Boone says
It's funny.
AEW and NHL will get the same equal ratings. That I believe.
I believe that.
NHL's not a big sport.
If they
not that it's not a big sport.
But if they think that AEW is more valuable to TNT than the NHL, you better slow down.
Yeah.
You better slow down.
Russell
You're talking about a
Campbell-
league that's been around for over 100 years, and there's a reason.
Our main man Russell says 3 super kicks and a Canadian destroyer, and he pops right up. That's right. And that's the issue we have with Orange. I have with Orange Cassidy. You can.
ridiculous.
Here's another thing
Dude,
I was thinking.
I can't take
There was
him
some good
too
spots
seriously,
in that,
but he beat
match,
Penta.
right? Why
there
wouldn't
was.
you save some of that stuff for a pay-per-view? Is
don't know.
TNT their pay-per-view?
I actually thought that was a pretty good match to put on television because Orange has his fans, and I love Penta, so I was interested.
I'm
going
going to drop some Monty knowledge on people right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Khan was on Lagrecka's show, right?
Here we go.
And
With Lagrecka.
he said the difference between us is we listen to what the fans want.
Oh, come on.
And we give them what they want.
Really?
Ladies and
really?
gentlemen.
That's why Miro
Well, here's my knowledge I want to
has
drop.
been there for how long already? They haven't done a damn thing with him.
Sometimes people don't know what they want, and that's why you hire professionals.
No, that's true, too.
And you give what you think's going to work.
Depends on who you're hiring. I don't want a Hollywood writer, I have to admit. I want a Kevin Sullivan I want someone like that.
I don't like this. I'm booing this. Let me tell you something. Roman Reigns was booed for 3 straight years.
Know.
And now he's
great.
Incredible.
Right.
Very simple.
He's great.
Really easy.
But I got to be honest, even when he was being booed, I still respected him. So did you. We weren't trashing him.
No, but I'm just saying in general.
And I could say this for me. I love Randy Orton. Randy Orton is great. And he's been even greater during times of ratings distress across the board for wrestling.
Right.
Randy Orton's been fantastic.
Our main man, another main man out there, modern day warrior, Orange Cassidy's a fool, worst wrestler ever, worse than a jobber. Hell yeah.
Johnny Rods?
Oh, wait a minute. Here's a good one.
Way better than Orange Cassidy.
Ralph Broom
Sorry.
writes, who's worse, Lagrecka or Francesa? Thank God Francesa's off the air.
Wow.
Farrell, what do you got to say about that one?
Wow, very interesting.
First of all, I'm going to say, Ralph, don't ever compare Lagrecka to
Mike
Francesa.
Francesa.
Because Lagrecka...
Absolutely. That's a whole different...
Listen, I understand if you hate Francesa. I get
you can hate him, but you can't deny. Mike Francesa and Christopher Mad Dog Russo together for decades were the number one.
What do you mean? They're not better than Lagrecka and Snorefest, Tommy Dreamer?
Oh, my God. Mike
Tommy, you awake? Huh?
Mike and the Mad Dog, a huge influence on me. What are you talking about? I loved that show, and I loved their chemistry. Absolutely loved Mike and the Mad Dog. They were legends. And
All right, you know who's winning me over?
Yeah, what do you got?
Darby Allin.
Cool, man. I'm okay with that.
Thoughts on the Darby, man?
I kind of like I'm kind of liking Darby Allin. There's something.
Thank you, Farrell. I like when you agree.
He doesn't seem to overstay his welcome. I kind of like that he doesn't have much to say.
Yeah.
And he's an ass kicker. It's kind of cool. He's a tough bastard. It really is.
Only problem
He's a tough bastard.
if you weigh 120 pounds,
I know. There's always
you got to stay down.
But
you get hit, stay down.
Can't we find a legal protein shake to give him another 20 pounds?
Bro, how about just when you get hit, lay down? You just stop popping up, like Russell said. Stay down. It's okay to get beat up.
By the way, did Sting get hair things? Because he's not. There's no spot up there anymore.
Oh, whatever.
You know, you're not gonna tell because he.